we live? Let's take a quick test here. And it looks like we are. Sweet. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Well, alright then. You may have noticed quality of life improvements. I put up a green screen today, and I made this. I put myself in a frame. You might say I framed myself. Anyway, so now we're going to try and take Battle of Wits into a league. And see what happens. Did I pick the right deck? Hang on. New Blue-Eyed Wits. Alright, so since the last time we ran this deck, we have added exactly one card, and that is a single copy of Walking Ballista in case we need a creature and draw Tolaria West. Theoretically, we should also be running Engineered Explosives and a Chalice of the Void, but I don't have either of those, I think. I might actually have Chalices, I should check, but don't have any Engineered Explosives yet. Also, the chat looks a lot nicer. It's actually readable on stream now. Oh, I like this. We're keeping. 100%. Lands and spells. Hard to mulligan. Huh. I'm going to have to adjust the old camera there a little bit. But I can't worry about it right now. That slide or something, I wonder? No, I couldn't have. Okay. Currently don't need to be stopped on our own turn. If we draw another basic, we get to play Tundra. Opponent is playing some kind of birds deck. Ooh, Spellquiller's good. Play an island, pass the turn, hold up, negate, and remand. We could bolt the bird, though that's almost certainly not correct. Let's see what our opponent's got. Yeah, let's remand the tracker. Ooh, an untapped land. And a logic knot. Well, let's play the untapped land. Pass the turn. Welcome, new viewer, to the stream. I think we're going to logic knot this. I don't want our opponent to like have bolt for Spell Queller, because they almost certainly have a land. They're just going to cast Tracker first to try and get an extra clue. Opponent did not have a land. Ooh. And we draw another Jace. That's really good. So now we can Spell Queller and maybe even Walking Ballista for one after that. Opponent plays Arbor Elf. And a birds. So I'm going to Queller the birds to get down some kind of defender for Jace. And if our opponent has Bolt, they do. Seems reasonable. Okay, it's a good thing we did not Spell Queller Tireless Tracker, otherwise we might be screwed. But our opponent bolted in response, which left their bird permanently exiled. Well, fun. Let's play Walking Ballista X2. Ping off the Arbor Elf. They've been so long since they've drawn lands, we might just ping this now too. Yeah, we have 2 basic islands. They have to draw a land to play anything significant, so let's do it. There's a Plains. Oh my gosh. Resolve Mind Sculptor onto an empty board. Oh yes. Me gusta. Put back Disdainful Stroke. Put back Island. Pass the turn, hold up the gate. Haha, gotcha. Oop. Opponent tries to Blood Moon, we negate. Okay. Well, that's Architect. Opponent concedes under the might of the Planeswalkers. Ooh, this is a really good start. So that's definitely land destruction, like 100%. So versus land destruction, we'll bring in Timely Reinforcements, bring in Sphinx's Revelation. And we will drop probably some of our like color-heavy late game that we don't really need, maybe. Well, pro sideboard strats in Battle of Wits. Bring in 4 cards, take out none, because you change the percentages infinitesimally. Actually, we'd probably cut some mission briefings, because they're like impossible to cast. Like Logic Knot, at least we have the opportunity to potentially cast it. Which we will this game. Alright, sweet. Keep this hand. Opponent starts Utopia Sprawl. Well, just in case we gotta fetch a Plains, play Filleted Strand. Actually, we might just go Island. Yeah, let's get an Island. This might be wrong. But I really want to be able to Logic Knot. Alright, well we have a counter spell for every occasion. Hopefully they don't have Simian Spirit Guide here. Okay. Made it through that one. Oh, shoot. Not drawing lands is not where you want to be versus land destruction. Opponent's got nothing? Well, we draw nothing. Opponent's hand is apparently all lands. Ooh, an island. Perfect. Now let's slide a hand. I don't think we need Commit to Memory. We're going to take the other island. Alright. Pass the turn. Is this a Titan? Oh no, that's actually something wrong with the transparency, I think. Yeah, let's mana leak that. Power up our logic knot. Ooh, gifts. Perfect. If only I had the foresight to have gotten that plains. Opponent has another acid moss. We'll negate. The one basic swamp. Just in case. Alright. Pass the turn, hold up gifts and logic knot. Alright, well, let's gifts. Let's go get... Let's see, what is the hardest for our opponent to deal with? Let's get Torrential Gear Hulk, Cryptic Command, Gifts Ungiven, and a plains. I think that's a reasonable pile here. Using Gifts Ungiven in the not win the game mode, which is usually incorrect. Let's see what our opponent does. Opponent gives us Torrential Gear Hulk and gifts. We find a Flooded Strand. So now we have Torrential Gear Hulk mana. We could try and resolve Jace against this board, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think we're just going to Cryptic and like counterbounce Blood Moon, then potentially gifts for the win next turn. Alright. So let's Torrential, hit Cryptic Command, bounce Blood Moon, and draw a card. Opponent has 2 bolts in hand. Nice. Alright. Well, we get to cast Cryptic Command. Bounce Blood Moon, draw a card. Okay. Fetch up a plains. Play a Sunken Hollow. And pass the turn. And I think if we gifts for Iona, we just win the game. I don't think they can win the game without casting a red spell. And if they recast Blood Moon here, it's totally okay for them to have it. There's Blood Moon. Primal Command. Opponent's thinking real hard about this one. Also, welcome new viewer to the stream. Let's get Unburial Rites and Iona. Come on, Moto, I believe in you. You can search an array of objects. Okay. And then we Unburial Rites Iona. And when she lands, we name red. And our opponent can no longer cast red spells for as long as she exists. I think the only way our opponent could get out of this is if the top of their deck is Beast Within. But then they still have to deal with a beast that we can protect with things like Teferi. Alright, opponent. You're on a 3-turn clock. Good luck. Opponent plays an Acid Moss. We'll let him have it. Yeah, I don't think we have a reason to play anything here. We'll just play Commit with Mana Leak back up and kill our opponent in 2 turns after this. Yeah, there's nothing in our graveyard we care about. Opponent plays and cracks a relic, draws a card. And they've got nothing. We win! Woo! We're 1-0! 1-0 with blue-white Battle of Wits. Moving on, round 2, let's go. This hand's pretty reasonable. We're on the draw. We have a white source, a blue source, a couple of 3-drops, and potentially a walking ballista on 1. Opponent plays a mountain. Passes the turn. We play Windswept Heath. Pass back. Don't currently need a stop on our opponent's upkeep. That's a nice mountain. I really like those mountains. Opponent Manamorphose. Into double red. So this is probably the Arclight. Yeah. Arclight deck. Wow, going deep on that gut shot. Opponent gets back an Arclight Phoenix. Gets in for 3. We take it. Not much choice at the moment. Let's go Hallowed Fountain tapped. Play an island. I don't think they're going to be scared of a counterspell, so we might as well stick Ballista here while we can. We might be able to kill a Runaway Steamkin if our opponent casts it. If we had a counterspell or any kind of removal at all, we would obviously not do this, but... Alright, opponent discards a Fiery Temper. And targets us with it. We get bolted. Oh no. Oh, we're going to 3. I don't think there's anything we can do about that. So what are the odds that millionbolts.deck has one more? So if we play Gideon and 0 Gideon, we die instantly. If we play Gideon and plus Gideon on either Arclight, we die instantly. So our only option is to Detention Sphere, Arclight, and if our opponent has or finds any direct damage at all, we just instantly lose, which they almost certainly have. But they had a pretty fast hand. Yeah. This is a Battle of Wits' probably worst matchup. Bring in the relics too. Basically just because we're inconsistent blue-white control, and this is blue-white control's worst matchup. Well, one of them. So versus this deck, I think what we're going to do is take out Disdainful Stroke, Remands, a Negate, and I think that's all. I think that's all I'm going to take out. This is going to be a tough matchup. I guess we bring in the Rest in Peace, too. What am I thinking? I would love to play first. I mean, this hand sort of does stuff. We'll keep it. It could be a lot faster, but... Oh. I don't know if you could hear that on camera, but my neck just popped. Alright, we'll start Fairy Conclave, pass the turn. Opponent plays an island. Yeah, I'll counter that. This card is kind of slow for Modern, but like... it does what it does pretty well. Let's put Blessed Alliance on top and Marsh Flats on top. Play Field of Ruin. Pass the turn. Welcome, new viewer, to the stream. Opponent plays a Blood Moon. That's kind of unfortunate for us. We really needed a white source. This deck has statistically the same chance to draw a white source that regular blue-white control does. But in practice, it might be a little different. No card is too slow for Modern if you believe hard enough. That's true. Also good to see you, Raylan. Welcome back to the stream. I think we're just going to go ahead and flash this guy in. If he eats a bolt, he eats a bolt. Problem is we know the top of our deck is... we know the top of our deck is Blessed Alliance, because I put it there. We'll hold on to this Tolaria West. Maybe we can transmute it for a Plains. But things are not looking good for our Intrepid Hero right now. We scried this to the top, and our opponent took the opportunity to play Blood Moon. Oh, brutal. Brutal, brutal. Please no cast Arclight. Or please no drop Arclights into the grave and reanimate them. Opponent Tormenting Voice and discards Lightning Bolt. When do you discard Lightning Bolt? I feel like that's a mistake. You discard Bolt when your opponent's at 20? Fair. Fair. Also, people in watching the stream, I hope chat's a lot more readable than it used to be. At least Raylin can attest to that. I finally had time to like sit down and do some quality improvements. I don't know that this deck runs Experiment. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. Now we have a real chance of winning this game. Don't destroy it. Okay. Whew. Although, I don't know what I was worried about. Smelt? Abrade? That'd be really sad if our opponent abrades. Opponent bolts our face again. Bedlam Reveler discards a Risk Factor. Crater Maker. Reveler number 2. What is this garbage? Okay. Okay. It's cool. It's cool. We're cool. We're cool, everybody. Stay calm. I got this under control. I think. Maybe. We have a lot of life gain in hand. We have 1 mana removal this turn. We should be okay. We got to live up to our ultimate goal and like 5-0 a league so that Saffron Olive is forced to play this and MTG Goldfish is forced to spend however many dollars on obtaining the deck. I assume they rent it, but like, let a man dream. Opponent has 3 bolts in the grave. Discards 2 runaway Steamkins. Desperate Ritual. Jeez Louise. That is not a small number of spells. This is really a Battle of Wits deck. If you look in the lower left-hand corner of the screen where the cursor is, you can see the deck size is 252... 252 cards. I think we actually do take the 4 damage here. Battle of Wits is in the deck. Oop. Condemn. Take 6. Play an untapped land. Pass the turn. Battle of Wits is more of an incidental win condition, but if we have the need to tutor for it, it's generally part of the gifts ungiven, I win the game. I think every time I've won with it, I've drawn it naturally, which is hilarious. Nope. Opponent gets to draw. I have played the combo version of the deck, which is like million tutors deck. Opponent discards an Arclight Phoenix and draws some cards. And bolts us. I don't actually think I can win now, because they get the Phoenix back, and if we Blessed Alliance, we can still try. Opponent can still misclick. Target ourselves, target our opponent. If we had one more white source, we could Blessed Alliance to stay alive. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Opponent had one too many spells. Okay, so we're 1-1. Just to prove for Joust here, this is in fact Battle of Wits. As you can see, this is the list. All right, round 3. Let's do our best. We can still 4-1, still 3-2, still win prizes. Hopefully we get some more hilarious games. Things like Miracling Terminus and Battle of Wits are super tilting for your opponent. You want to see it win so bad now? Well, make sure you follow the stream. We're trying to make it to 100 followers. If you like my content, you like my humor. When we get to 100 followers, we're going to open 50 plus chests on stream. I think I'm up to 56 now. Let's take the mana leak. Opponent is on the dredge plan. That's a little bit bad for us. Thanks, Joe West. Much appreciated. Opponent mills a Creeping Chill and an Amalgam. Opponent mills a Conflagrate and a Shriekhorn. Thankfully, no dredgers. We have our mana leak ready for a Cathartic. Or... what about those of us who enjoy neither your sense of humor nor your content? Well, I know you're not included in that, Raylin, because you show up to like every stream I have. And yes, Joest, usually I do stream Modern. Very rarely I will stream Limited or I will stream Standard. If there was like a cheap budget Legacy deck or other format deck, I would probably stream that too, just for funsies, but almost always it's Modern. Usually Battle of Wits, Time Warp, Mill, Jank, whatever I can get a hold of. Alright, we play another island. We got Secure the Wastes for 2 to make some chump blockers. But... and usually, like right now, I stream when I'm tipsy and a little bit drunk. So if I misplay, just yell at me in chat. You know, just say, hey, Kano, you're doing something stupid. Opponent mills. So many Creeping Chills. So many Creeping Chills. Why? Why so many Creeping Chills? Opponent. They hurt. You you're just getting back into Modern, so you love streaming, and I'm trying to learn the format again. Good. That's always good. Good to get back into the swing of things. Oh, gosh. Opponent's going to have a huge board. Thankfully, we'll have an Angel Song. Like, we have an Angel Song and a Cryptic, but we definitely have to find a way to win, you know, before we die. 3 Bloodghasts. We now return to too many Bloodghasts. Why are there so many Bloodghasts? The brochure said there'd only be a few Bloodghasts. Opponent gets in for 4. We're going to secure the wastes for 2 and chump the amalgam. You have the prettiest blue-white control deck, but my meta at my LGS is super aggro and they run under me all the time. What kind of anti-aggro tech do you run? Just curious. There's always the possibility that, like, people are running something that I need to be running in Battle of Wits and have totally forgotten. We're probably going to fog this turn because, honestly, oh my god. Is that all 4 Creeping Chills? Nope, just 3. I don't know why Wizards printed this card or why they thought it was okay. It should have had, like, a pay 1 mana cost attacked onto it or something. You are running the standard Blue-White Miracles list, and in reality I just need to add more sweepers or go back to Jeskai. Yeah, I think those are reasonable options. One of my favorite tech pieces that you may not have considered is Shining Shoal. It gives you a way to pitch Terminus if it's in your hand, and it lets you fog a bunch of damage and potentially kill an attacker, or damage your opponent's face to close the game out faster. Especially like in an LGS meta, I definitely think you can catch some people by surprise. Alternatively, you can run the best Wrath ever, which is free, and it's called Sunscour. You know, oh, we're definitely dead. Okay. Time to bring in the Dredge Hate. Hope we draw it. So, 4 relics. Rest in peace. Timely, timely, timely Sphinxes. And now we take out all the counterspells. Like, almost all of them. Drop negates. Drop remands. We'll go down to, like, 1. And we drop, like, 2 commit to memory. Welcome, new viewers, to the stream. We're currently in round 3, and I'm 1-1 versus... we're down a game, and we're versus Dredge in round 3. Can't keep a hand that's all land. This might actually get somewhere. Declaration in Stone is actually super good versus Dredge, because their threats are, like, super redundant. So, let's put Tolaria West on the bottom, and play a Prairie Stream tapped and pass the turn. We happen to draw our Singleton Merchant Scroll, so we can tutor for Gifts Ungiven this game to potentially win the game. Opponent starts Copperline Gorge, Shriekhorn. Ooh, Bojuka Bog. Bojuka Bog's really good. This is a 1 of in Battle of Wits. You're looking at a 1 in 260 some chance to draw. You know what? Since we're not interacting with our opponent on their turn, we're going to go fetch up an island and Merchant Scroll for Gifts Ungiven so we can win the game. The problem is the deck is foiled out Expeditions, and so changing cards can be expensive. And I don't want to spend more money on it, thinking I might just start running my Humans instead. Humans is a really good deck. Pretty reasonable choice. And I think Sunscour would be an incredibly expensive foil. But, what was the other card I named? Shining Shoal probably is too, though I think that might have gotten reprinted more than once at least. Oh my gosh. Opponent just dredged loam. Well, if they don't have a second land, we can Bajuka Bog their blood gas away. But if they do, we can Declaration Zone. Like, if we can get all four... Like, if our opponent just drops blood gas, plays a land, and then is like, ha! What are you going to do about it? Like... oh my gosh, we get to live part of the dream. Oh, this is cool. This is awesome. Like, 2 mana sever the bloodline? That seems pretty good. Oh, and then we'll be able to, like, Snapcaster it later, and this is... Oh! This feels good. Feels good, man. Oh, and we get to nab their Conflagrate out of the grave, too. Alright, so let's Declaration in Stone. And take their discard outlets away from them. Because they have been a bad person playing Dredge and don't get to play with their toys. Opponent mills themselves a Creeping Chill. Hits us for 3. This is yes! Opponent casts a 0-value Loam. Oh, man. It's just like the hand to have right now. Alright. Play Snow-Covered Island. Pass the turn. What is this Creeping Chill nonsense? Opponent dredges a life from the loam to get a life from the loam into the grave, and dredges again. Opponent gets in for 5. We take it and go to 3. Alright, so a little bit risky. Man, maybe we ought to have like a Platinum Imperium or something. I think because we have Teferi in hand, we're not going to go for the gift skill here. I think we're going to take Blessed Alliance, Angel Song, Timely Reinforcements, and Blessed Alliance, Timely Reinforcements. And the 4th card should be... maybe Rest in Peace? That'd be cool. Because that's a card they're like almost certainly not going to give us unless they think they can kill us. And if they do, we should be able to survive. See what our opponent does. They give us Blessed Alliance and Timely Reinforcements. So let's fetch a Prairie Stream. And cast a Timely Reinforcements here. Get back into a decent life total. Opponent dredges a Stinkweed Imp. Loam's back 3 lands. shocks a Blood Crypt, and draws a card off a clue. Let's chump the Amalgam. Thought Scour ourselves. Draw Search for Riskanto. Opponent discards a Stinkweed Imp. We draw another Gifts. So we can Snapcaster Timely Reinforcements here, which I'm really, really tempted to do. Because it helps us build the board for later. We can Snapcaster Timely Reinforcements. We can Teferi plus and leave up Blessed Alliance, or we can attempt to Gifts at our opponent's end step. Gifts is the riskiest line because our opponent could have Conflagrate, and I really don't want to play into that. Snapcaster Timely is probably the safest, and Teferi is kind of middle of the road. Our opponent, like, they have a bunch of mana, they just drew a bunch of lands off Life from the Loam, and they have a bunch of stuff in the grave. I think we're going to play Teferi because we're going to need to win the game and kind of fast. Okay, we drew a land. Cool. So let's untap 2 Prairie Streams and leave up Blessed Alliance. Ooh, opponent found a Conflagrate. They might just go for it here. If they do, I actually think that kills us. Because that takes a... Like, we'd have to Blessed Alliance to gain life, go to 10. They have 2 flyers. But that's only if they pitch their whole hand. Opponent has to pitch their entire hand to try and kill us. Or to successfully kill us. Actually, that's not true. Ping, ping. Five to us takes us to 1. If we had 1 more mana. That's actually really unfortunate. We can gain 4 life, go to 5, take 5, and die. Maybe we should have minused Teferi. It would have just died to Conflagrate, but we would have actually still been in the game. Alright, that may have been a play mistake. Okay, we're 1 and 2. We still have a chance. Welcome new viewers to the stream. I'm Kano. If you haven't seen me before, I stream a bunch of jank and modern, including Battle of Wits. What are we drinking there? Currently nothing, we're out, but I was drinking Mountain Dew with a shitload of vodka in it. In fact, I might actually have to run upstairs real quick and refuel. Because I did not bring a second drink down like I should have. Alright. Here we go. Oh, I would love to play first. Thank you. Ooh, this is super good hand. Super good hand. We're keeping this. 100%. Start Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. We have Cantrip. We have Value Engine. We have a Walking Ballista in case we need to bolt a bird. Or 2-mana Lava Dart a bird. Should always be prepared when it comes to drinks on hand. Joe West, I like the way you think. I absolutely agree, and it totally slipped my mind. We are against Jund. Almost certainly Jund, anyway. Like 99.5% versus Jund. We'll keep Negate. They're probably going to play a creature on 2 and a Planeswalker on 3, so... We'll play Search for Escanta. The nice thing about Jund is most of them have dropped the main deck Abrupt Decays for Assassin's Trophies because they hit more things. And Assassin's Trophy is slightly better versus low drop things for the person on the receiving end than Abrupt Decay is. Oh my gosh! Come on! You're not supposed to have Abrupt Decays. I just got done explaining why people don't run that as often anymore. I feel like I got robbed. Okay, opponent fetches. Shocks a Blood Crypt. Well, we have Negate for the Liliana. Alright, blue land for Cryptic, please. That's actually fairly decent here. Play Azor's Gateway. I keep picking this up, expecting there to be something in it. Alright. Let's see if our opponent has another Abrupt Decay for that. I might get a little bit upsetty. A little bit upsetty because I have no spaghetti. Okay, there's the Assassin's Trophy. Spaghetti in a lip lock. Gosh. Spaghetti in a Ziploc. Okay, I was worried you're like making out with a bowl of spaghetti there. I was going to be a little bit concerned. Okay, we definitely want this land, so what do we want to exile? And I think the answer to that question is Logic Knot. Okay, let's get a blue land. Opponent shocks the Stomping Grounds. We draw our tech land detection tower for Boggles. It's kind of a mind-bogglingly small chance to draw that. You see what I did there? The tech land for Boggles, mind-boggling. Okay, sorry, I'll stop. All right, what you got, opponent? What you gonna do? Nothing, apparently. Holy crap. Well, we draw a Windswept Heath. We'll play a Windswept Heath. Let's have another drink and keep the one-liners coming. Every time I hear the word one-liner, I always think of Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze in the like terrible Batman movies, where he's just like, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. It's like every single thing he says is a one-liner, and like none of them are good. Or they're excellent, depending on your taste. Like, worst Batman ever. I actually liked those movies as a kid, and it might have been because like we had like the slot car for some reason for like the Batmobile from that movie. No, the neighbor kids did. We didn't. For some reason, that's what I think of. I don't know why, but it's what I think of. Opponent bolts. That's fine. I don't know if our opponent is just like that scared of counterspells, or if they're holding. Well, they can't be holding only lands. They've missed land drops. Apparently, they're holding only bolts. Play a land, animate Ravine, and attack. I dare you. Play a land first so I can punish you by recoiling to draw. Yeah. Blue mana. Let me qualify that. Blue untapped mana. Some of the scariest stuff in Magic the Gathering. Ooh. Oh, the chance of that resolving is like -2. Like, never gonna happen. Let's play a ballista on one. See if we can get our opponent to Assassin's Trophy that one. Fatal Push. We can just get to, like, Battle of Wits plus Cryptic Command backup mana. What the heck? So many bolts. Zappity zap zap. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and counter that one. If we can draw another counter spell or some way to protect Battle of Wits, I'll be really happy. Bedlam Reveler. So is this like Delirium Jund? Okay, let's play Jace. And since our opponent has lightning bolted like 97 times, Fact or Fiction mode. Whatever pile has 2 lands, we're taking it. Alright. Now we're going to play Snapcaster, probably on Opt. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doing some quick math here. We can Snapcaster negate to prevent our opponent from looking at her hand, but they can't take the spell that's relevant. Now let's Snapcaster for Opt. That way we have a blocker. Our opponent sees that they're playing against Battle of Wits. Panics. Maybe we should have targeted negate. Like, just in case our opponent has a Thoughtseize to back this up with. Also, we drew our... Nobody ever... Nobody ever looks at the deck size. Nobody ever looks at the deck size. If it took OP until now to know Battle of Wits was the deck, they didn't forget the backup drink. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. Opponent had no idea. Now opponent is thinking about what they need to do. Why wouldn't you look at deck size? Always have to keep that in mind when blue-white is around. I think there's some truth to that, but like at the same time, it's a tiny number on MTGO. There's no other visual representation. It's not relevant in 99% of games, it feels like anyway. Probably closer to like 60% of games, maybe 70% deck size is not relevant at least. So it's just not something a lot of people look at. It's just plain and simple. I mean, I look at it all the time because I play decks like Mill and like the Control Mirror and things like that, but I have only once played against a Battle of Wits deck. And their version was like Esper, like Tutor for Battle of Wits, try and win the game with Battle of Wits, which was cool. So they can attack us, and force us to block. Or they can attack Jace, attack Jace. So one at us, one at Jace. We're going to take the damage and prevent the damage to Jace because we need some kind of removal in order to actually be able to win with Battle of Wits. Do I have Approach in the deck? That is a card I have considered for a long period of time. But no, I don't actually have Approach of the Second Sons in the deck. Ugh! We just died. Highly unfortunate. We'll like feign that we have a Cryptic. Maybe our opponent could not draw the fourth bolt, potentially F6 through the combat step. We give our opponent the chance to misplay. You always give your opponent the chance to misplay. But we're certainly dead here. There's like 0% chance we're not dead. Maelstrom Pulse. Alright, well they had the answer for it anyway. And in that case, we probably weren't winning. Okay, alright. They get the game one. They get the game one. They're definitely a Delirium version of the deck, so we're going to bring in Relic. So what is bad versus your average Jund / Rock deck? Knowing that theirs is going to be slightly different than that. I think we're going to go ahead and drop... Well, no, they could be running like Shadow. I think we actually... Yeah, we'll just shoot it back. Bring in 8 cards. Don't sideboard any. Battle with strategy. Hmm. All right, I would love to play first. All right, let's do this. Since we know our opponent is on the Delirium plan, we're going to play Relic first. Which might be a mistake, but we'll see. I'm like 90% sure our opponent is going to start with Hand Hate, but they didn't. And that's why it was only 90%. Unfortunately, we cannot set up for this Logic Knot, so we'll start Serum Visions. We draw Condemn. Wrath to the bottom, Oust to the top, and we'll play a Sunken Hollow, tapped. Black lands in this deck are basically just for the splash. Ooh, Grimflare. Get ousted. So, something that's really funny about this deck, which I think has some actual legs in regular blue-white control lists, is ousts and commit to memory synergize really, really hard to like completely like decimate your opponent. Like when your opponent is playing 1-mana 1/1s and you're putting them back in the deck repeatedly, and your opponent is losing out on those draws, it's really powerful. I know, right? There's like 4 or 5 other people in chat, or there's like 4 or 5 other people watching, but it's only you talking to me. Yep. Let's just play tap land. Opponent drains us and duresses us. Well, they can only take Condemn. I don't know, some people get off on abandonment. Also, welcome new viewers to the stream. If you haven't seen me before, I stream a lot of jank, usually tipsy or drunk, and play a lot of stuff like Battle of Wits. So let's try and take 2 draws at this at the land here. All right. Well, we're going to play Jace, and we're going to unsummon. I don't want our opponent manipulating the top of their deck right now. I know that like 99% of the time brainstorming is what you should be doing, and in fact may have been what I should have done there. But without a bolt, this makes our opponent not able to answer Jace, and that potentially lets us slam Battle of Wits. Alright, they hit a bolt. And we draw a Search for Iskanta. So play Search. Play Ballista, X1. Pass the turn. Opponent gets in. 4-2. No blocks. Opponent gets to manipulate the top of their deck. Yeah, I'm really glad that Wizards decided to make this card green-black and not blue-black, because holy crap. If this card was blue... yeah. That would just be not good for everyone. Ever. Still waiting for our opponent to manipulate their top decks. I think they put both cards back on top. They, in fact, did. Opponent casts a completely useless Inquisition of Kozilek at us. Alright, we'll mill Mana Leak. Draw Serum Visions. Cast Serum Visions. Find an Oust. Windswept Heath to the bottom. Hallowed Fountain on top. We will oust the Grimflayer. Such good art. Opponent helps us fuel our search for Iskanta, as well as ruins their previous scry. Opponent draws a card. Plays a land. Top of their deck is now Grimflayer. Land, please. Untapped land, please. We will not put Tectonic Edge in our grave. We will draw it, and we will cast Battle of Wits. Opponent's top of their deck is Grimflayer. They have to have an answer in hand. Opponent casts Grimflayer. Plays Urborg, and we got the win. Oh, Battle of Wits trigger. Win the game. All right. All right. Moving on. Game 3. That's good. That feels good. I hope that's as good for everybody in chat as it is for me sitting here actually playing the game. It's not often you get to play Battle of Wits, and much less often you actually win with it. Woo! I agree, Joest. It's awesome. Or Joest? Joest? I'm not sure. This is a really slow hand, and our opponent kept 7 cards. But we do have a win the game card. We do have a really strong Planeswalker in hand, and we have all of our colors. So I'm going to keep this. This is probably wrong, but we're going to see. Depends on how fast of a hand our opponent has. It also completely blanks Inquisition, which frequently this deck will start with over Thoughtseize. Opponent starts Nile Spellbomb. We play Marsh Flats. Okay, Spellqueller is a good card. Welcome new viewers to the stream. If you haven't watched before, I'm Kano. I play a lot of jank in Modern, usually tipsy or drunk, and we're currently playing Battle of Wits. We're in round 4. We are 1 and 2 in rounds, and we are 1 and 1 in games. Opponent duresses. We will fetch up a Marsh Flat or a Hollowed Fountain. Excuse me. We are cracking our Marsh Flats for a Hollowed Fountain. Opponent gets their option of Gifts Ungiven or Unburial Rights, but almost certainly will take Gifts Ungiven. Also, for anybody watching that hasn't yet, we are trying to get to 100 followers. When we do, we're going to open 56 chests, potentially 57 chests on stream. Yes, I will be grabbing drinks before round 5 really fast. All right, sweet. Play Nimbus Maze. Pass the turn. We are 2 people away from opening 56 treasure chests on stream. Please, please, if you know somebody that might like this content, please recommend them. I'm not desperate. I just really wanted 100 followers. I think that would be really cool. It's been a goal for a while. If opponent takes up, we are definitely discarding on burial rights here. We're not going to need it. No. No. I don't know why I clicked that, but thankfully they added a confirmation to that. All right, we draw a Jace, Architect of Thought. All right, well, pass turn, hold up Spellqueller. In all likelihood, Spellqueller might just be attacking Liliana. We'll see. If our opponent is smart, they might cast something that seems like a good target for Spellqueller and then tick down Liliana in order to ensure that they get it. I shouldn't imply that our opponent is not smart. Our opponent is a cool person who complimented our deck, that they seem really cool. We have no reason to doubt their intelligence whatsoever, so forgive me for that. Opponent ticks up Liliana. Actually, I don't even know that they've seen Spellqueller, so I think this line is entirely reasonable. All right, well, let's flash her in. We draw a second Jace. Well, get in at Liliana. Play a Jace. Fact or fiction with Jace. Ooh, 2 lands and a torrential. We will take the lands. All right, pass the turn. Teferi coming down next turn. Opponent cracks Nile Spellbomb. Pays a mana to draw a card as well. Opponent did not draw the bolt. Opponent ticks down Liliana, makes us sack Spellqueller. No spell under Spellqueller for our opponent to retrieve. Still on 3 mana, our opponent Thoughtseize. This is kind of brutal. They get to take Teferi here. We draw Cryptic Command. Let's Factor Fiction Jace. I think we take whatever pile Spellqueller's in. Have you ever tried playing more cards to prevent this from happening? I'm doing my best. I kept adding cards to my control list and I'm over 200. I keep drawing the same cards. Blame Moto. I still think the correct pick is Spellqueller. We are playing sort of a resource game here. Yeah, we take Spellqueller. The rest go on the bottom in any order. By the way, when you scry something to the bottom and you're playing Battle of Wits, you scry it out of the known universe. I just want to point that out. You will never see that card again. Opponent plays in Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Opponent is deep in the tank. Opponent ticks up, makes us discard. We discard a Prairie Stream. Scry to the bottom, crack fetch, draw card previously sent to the bottom. I'm sure if you watched all of my VODs, you might be able to find an instance where that happened. But I don't know how likely that actually is in this deck. Okay, let's fetch an island. See if we can't take our opponent off of green. Let's get a Plains. And Spellqueller. If our opponent has a piece of removal for this, that's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Okay, Assassin's Trophy. That's good. Lets us get another island. Opponent only has one card in hand. They decide they want to Field of Ruin us. That's also okay. We go get another island. We draw Timely Reinforcements. Unfortunately, that cannot get us any creatures right now. So we play Jace. Factor Fiction Jace. Not actually going to need the Wrath for a while, so we're going to take the lands. Play Prairie Stream. Pass the turn. Opponent ticks up, makes us discard. We discard the snow-covered plains. We are running snowlands, basically, in case we need to gifts for a white source. Makes it easy. Opponent plays a Bedlam Reveler. Well, that's good. That gets us some creatures off of timely reinforcements. We draw an island. Well, take up Jace. Cast timely reinforcements. Pass the turn, hold up Cryptic, keep the island to discard to Liliana. Opponent only has 4 minutes and 58 seconds left on the clock. Time is a resource on Moto. I don't like games to be decided by time, but occasionally it does happen, and I will take it if it does happen. Opponent attacks Jace. Jace shrinks it. We will block. Opponent Collective Brutality. So we can counter and draw, or we can counter and bounce Liliana because they can't replay Liliana. I think countering and drawing is probably better, though. Opponent Grim Flayer. We draw a Commit to Memory. Factor Fiction Jace, because he's probably not surviving this turn anyway. Ooh, Path to Exile. That's a good card, I heard. Do we want the land and the Obstructionist, or the Path? I think we take the Path. Play the Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Raging Ravine. And goes to combat. Attacks us. Attacks Jace. Well, Path Grimflayer. Memory in this deck is actually really sweet. Yeah. I think we take the 3. Opponent plays Fulminator Mage. That gives us an opportunity to commit Liliana before he activates Liliana. And we will memory to get Liliana back, or to get 7 cards back. Next turn. Tick up Jace. We can memory, but I think because we drew Forbidden Alchemy, we would rather do that. I think. Our opponent is a resource. Like, resources matter in our opponent's deck very, very heavily. So I think memory, if we can avoid doing it, is probably better. Opponent fires up Raging Ravine. Goes to combat. Attacks us. Attacks us. And attacks us. Jace shrinks them all. Okay. Forbidden Alchemy. Ooh, Wrath of God. Wrath of God's pretty sweet. Let's put that in our hand. Chump and chump. Opponent Inquisitions and cannot take Wrath of God. Top of their deck is Liliana of the Veil. Fact or fiction, Jace. He wouldn't survive this turn anyway. And we will take whatever pile has Logic Nod in it. I don't know why our opponent split that way when they know we're holding a Wrath. So we Wrath of God. Opponent blows up Prairie Stream. Play Colonnade. Pass turn. Opponent fires up Raging Ravine. Gets in for 5. They are holding Liliana of the Veil. We draw Snapcaster Mage. Do we have any 1-mana removal? We do. We have a Path. So we play Fairy Conclave. We take 5 mana to fire up Colonnade, and that leaves us enough mana for Snap Path on their turn. I think that'll win us the game. Fire up Colonnade. Get in for 4. Pass turn. Oop. Have to tap right. Snapcaster Mage. Target Path to Exile. Path Raging Ravine. Fire up all the manlands. Attack for lethal. All right, we are 2-2. I will be right back. I'm going to get a little more to drink, and we are going to finish off this league and see if we can bring it all the way home. And we are back. Cool. Thank you, everybody who didn't go anywhere. We are now going on to round 5 with Blue-White Battle of Wits. I have refilled my mug of, it was like rum and vodka from here to here. So, and then, so if it looks like weak Mountain Dew, that's because it kind of is. This looks like a good hand we're going to keep. Oh, we're against a Wizards employee. Once again, for any new viewers in chat, I'm Kano, and we play Jank here in Modern. If you haven't followed already, please do, because when we hit 100 followers, we're going to try and open 56 treasure chests on stream. We will need a third land for this hand to be good. Or better, I should say. We draw our free 0-mana Wrath. Because this deck cannot run more than 4 Terminus, and we might need a Wrath on earlier than turn 4, we run Sunscour, because it is better to pitch your whole hand to the board than it is to die. Also, I think this card is super underrated and definitely playable in Modern. It might be worse than Search for Iskanta, Azor's Gateway, or Treasure Map in the 2-mana value engine slot, but in the Control Mirror and versus Blood Moon, it is invaluable. Also, having a Mazavith is incredibly good, and I can see why that card was like never reprinted. Opponent fetched with a Verdant Catacombs to find an Overgrown Tomb, but is thinking really hard on their own upkeep. Opponent plays a Swamp and a Scavenging Ooze. We draw a Negate. Unfortunately, that is not a land. You might say it's amazing! Good one, Raylan. I actually really like that one. I want to remember that for future ones. Opponent gets in for 2 with the Scoos. We take it. Oh dear. That's crippling. Land? Good. Sweet. Although missing that one land drop really hurt us. Like a lot. Opponent plays a Tireless Tracker. And a fetch land. That's pretty good. Okay, we really need a land. If we don't hit a land, we have to Sunscour. Okay, good. Okay, now we can hold up Negate just in case they have a Thoughtseize effect of some kind for our Sunscour, and hopefully they play out at least one more creature. And if they do, Sunscour will be even value, 3 for 3. Well, not really, because Tireless Tracker is really good. Opponent eats our opt. I think the only like more amazing thing you can do than Sun Scour is to quicken Sun Scour. Oh, Tireless Tracker number 2. And a land. Oh, please. Please don't crack any clues. Just cast another, like, Goy for Skoos. Commit to this board, please. Alright. Okay. Here we go. Blow up this board. Opponent is stunned and reading the card. I think they're going to... Oh, they decide to path their own ooze. Well, that's good for us. That's one more resource out of their hand. I think they're just trying to set up to crack as many clues as they can. We could have countered that. I don't think it's worth it. Hopefully the tempo loss from our opponent having to crack so many clues allows us to make up for missing so many land drops. Ooh. Alright, I don't have an answer for that currently. That's kind of tough. Opponent cracks a clue, draws a card. Plays an Overgrown Tomb. Cracks another clue, draws a card. Alright. Let's grab an island. We draw plains. That's good. Alright. Hold up Cryptic Command. Opponent plays a Ramanop Excavator. If the opponent tries to Ghost Quarter us down, we have like a million basic lands. Opponent cracks a clue, draws a card. Don't know why they wouldn't crack their fetches first, though. I think we have to tap and draw. We could bounce and draw, but if our opponent recasts it, they get to play another land. I guess if they, all other things being equal, not bouncing it is better. So let's tap our opponent's creatures and draw a card. We draw a Spell Queller. Hopefully we can, like, Miracle a Terminus. Okay, Blessed Alliance is decent. So let's play a Plains. I think we passed the turn. We either leave up like Spell Queller Negate, or Blessed Alliance 2 mode, or Blessed Alliance Spell Queller. Opponent cracks another clue, draws a card. Opponent has so many clues. Vodka and rum with the dew. Yes, that is correct. It's some Parrot Bay rum and Smirnoff, I think. Okay, opponent attacks. Before they played any lands, the Fool. Unless they have redundant pieces. It makes like a really fruity drink that's like tolerable to drink. Opponent sacks Ramanop Excavator. We get and gets in for 5 still. Opponent has 7 cards in hand and 1,000,000 land. So like our only out is to draw another board wipe. We're gonna need a few like 10 for 1s to get back in this game, actually. Opponent fetches away their life from the loam, which is on top of their deck, and finds a Wayward Swordtooth. They shock their Godless Shrine because they've paid for it with Courser of Crufix, basically. Cracks a clue. We're going to need a Wrath. Pretty bad. Grey Goose, Water, Lemon or Lime Wedge. Best ever, and plenty of ice. I don't like drinks with a lot of ice in them usually. It doesn't leave enough room for alcohol. Among people I know, I have a pretty legendary alcohol tolerance. There's actually a video of me somewhere on the internet consuming an entire bottle of rum without taking a breath. Okay, let's think here. We can Thematic Compass and get a land and have Spell Queller to block. We can Teferi and tuck the Swordtooth and lose Teferi. We can Jace plus none of these really do anything though. So we're gonna Thematic Compass because we really, really need lands. And we're gonna Spell Queller to block. It's really our only way that we're going to like actually stay alive. But if our opponent has another path, obviously they'll just kill us. Unfortunately, I pitched 2 Wraths to our other Wrath, so our odds of drawing a Wrath are a lot lower. I really like our opponent's deck. I like these like extra lands from the grave, gain life when you play lands from the grave kind of decks. I don't think our opponent has realized that we're playing a Battle of Wits deck. I think it'd be hilarious if they try and Ghost Quarter us out here. Alright, they need to not have any removal in hand. They are holding 7 cards. The odds of that are not great, but possible. All right. Looks like we're getting Abrupt Decayed or Assassin's Trophied. All right, you got us. So, it's going to be tough for us to, like, outvalue them or really compete with what they're doing. But it's not impossible. Yeah, okay. Shoot back. Bring in 9 cards. Just don't take any out. Battle of Wits sideboard strats. Let's go. We gotta win 2 games. We gotta run 2 games here for us to win prize. Hopefully we can. That would be fantastic. I would love to play first. This looks like a hand we can keep. We have Stifle Bird. I actually really like this card. This card catches a lot of people by surprise. Like in the control mirror, if you stifle a fetch land, like if you go first, you get to 3 mana and your opponent plays a land and you stifle the fetch land, it's like game over. You do anything after that, your opponent just like can't contest it. It's great. Opponent plays a Temple Garden tapped. We will not reveal Terminus. But we'll play a Port Town untapped and make them scared of the counterspell. Despite the fact that we have no counterspell. Gaddock Teague. That's actually super brutal for us, considering now we can only cast 1 spell in our hand. Hopefully we can, our opponent is not holding path, and we can just nimble obstructionist them down. Okay, opponent plays a Tireless Tracker. It's a little bigger than an Ambush Viper. It's like an Ambush Anaconda. You know what I mean? Oh, thank God he attacked. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of scared of the value that this thing generates. And we do have a 6 mana Wrath in hand. So I'm going to go ahead and Verdict right now. Actual Ambush Vipers are still deadlier. Yeah, because Anacondas aren't poisonous, but they're bigger. So, like, you know what I mean. Opponent Kokos. Sword Tooth. Excavator. Plays a Heath. Immediately cracks it. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Alright, well, we play a Ghost Quarter, hold up commit, and we will definitely, certainly be casting Terminus. Hard casting Terminus. Opponent plays a Windswept Heath, cracks it. This is a really good combo. Gets a Godless Shrine tapped, plays a Windswept Heath. Goes to combat. Attacks for 2. Welcome, new viewer, to the stream. I'm Kano. I'm almost drunk, and we're playing Battle of Wits. We're down a game in round 5, and this round determines whether or not we get prize. I think our opponent senses the wrath, so we're going to Terminus. Not much we can do about it. Opponent plays another Ramanop Excavator. Like, especially with this combo, they're like, they thin their decks so much of lands, they basically only will draw gas. There's a deck that I really want to play that's got Tireless Tracker, Ramanop Excavator, Heartless Summoning, the Gitrog monster, like, so many things that are awesome. And I want to play that deck, but I have none of the cards, and it's so expensive that, like, I can't afford it. Well, hopefully we can get a decent condemn in or something. It doesn't sound good, but it does sound fun. That is exactly why I want to play it. See if we can get our opponent to Ghost Quarter this. I actually think I condemned the wrong target. That's what I get for playing a little bit fast there. I should have condemned this. Oh gosh, Knight of the Reliquary. Okay. Actually, if they just dump their hand, that'd be great. Just like right into this Fumigate. Ooh. That's fun. You make a good point, Raylin. I must consider this. I actually think that's right, because that lets us leave up commit. So if they do play something that's really, really nasty like Gaddock Tea, we can put it back in the deck. We can untap, wrath the board, and then have a time reversal to play, basically. I don't want to play this Arch of Orazka yet. I might play it as like a 6-mana cantrip. Opponent just passes through combat? This is fine, .jpg. Play Arch. And play Search for his Kanto. Pass the turn. Get an island. Maybe I should have drawn a card there. I almost certainly should have. I should have, yes. I clicked too fast. Opponent plays a tireless tracker. I wasn't paying enough attention, but if you told me you had, I would believe you here. Yeah. We'll take 3. I don't want to mill Gideon, and I don't want to transform search yet. See if our opponent cracks a Ghost Quarter to make us shuffle away Gideon. They don't. Nope. Got to tap 2 white mana for that. Let's Wrath the board. Opponent cracks a clue. Draws a card. We gain 1,000,000 life, approximately. Opponent plays another Knight of the Reliquary. No, we'll keep Jace. Not going to transform either. Okay, start Gideon. Tick up on Knight. Play Jace. Pass turn. Opponent has Assassin's Trophy. Okay. That's a little unfortunate. But we tutor up an island. Jace resolves. Let's commit this. I want to have some kind of value engine that doesn't immediately die to Ghost Quarter. Opponent shuffles their deck to get Field of Ruin. We put Assassin's Trophy back in the deck. Opponent has another Assassin's Trophy. Okay. We get an island. Opponent plays a third Ghost Quarter. See what we get off of search here. Mill Flooded Strand. I think we have to transform. I kind of want to take mission briefing, but path is actually better right now. So we take path. Rest on the bottom. Opponent hits our Escanta, the Sunken Ruin. We get an island. I think I want to fail to find if they ghost quarter us to see if they like crack all their ghost quarters. It might be bad, but I kind of want to, you know? All right. Opponent attacks, we path. Opponent gets a swamp. Play Thematic Compass. Let's get an island. Play an island. Pass the turn. It flips into Maze of Ith. I mean, Spires of Orazga. Opponent blows it up. We get an island. If I could speak one less popular foreign language, say one spoken by less than 50 million people natively, what would it be and why? Oh man, I don't have the brain power for this. I think I would choose... I think I would choose Norwegian because it's like where my ancestry is from, and I think that would have some significance for me. I can't imagine that there's more than 50 million people that speak Norwegian. Although Latin would be good. I like summoning demons with Latin. It's really fun. Opponent loans back three ghost quarters. We do not need a negate. Put swamp on the bottom. We draw Fairy Conclave. Play Fairy Conclave. Pass the turn. Opponent only has 6 minutes left on the clock. If you time out, you lose the match. We might have to win with time. I don't want to win with time, but we might have to win with time. Opponent collected company. What the hell's happening in this match? Trying to watch it, and it's always sunny, and I realize it feels like this has been going on forever, and look where we are. Are we not casting memory? Our opponent had like a really... They had like no cards in hand and no threats on the board. So we weren't casting memory because they didn't have any threats. Now, we're going to have to cast memory because we really need a wrath. Like, oh my god, we need a wrath. Opponent attacks for 7. We take 7. Yeah, it takes an awful lot of ghost quartering. To run us out of basics. We are running out of planes, and since we're going to get treasures, I'm going to just get an island. It does, in fact, shuffle back in the planes. Okay, so I think we might get somewhere. Opponent, collected company. Does anybody know the ruling on Escalate and Torrential Gear Hulk? So you can escalate if you Torrential Gear Hulk. Sorry, hang on. So we have to condemn Cabal first. Get a Prairie Stream. We can 2-mode and Gear Hulk. Perfect. Oh, but we're 1 mana off of... I did the math wrong there. Gear Hulk is basically an overcosted Doomblade. Sort of. Ashes to ashes. Opponent, Assassin's Trophy Gear Hulk. Kind of what we expected. Let's go get a planes! We have so much mana. We're just going to have to draw... Yeah, I did too. We're just going to have to draw Wraths. Like mono Wraths. Rest of the game. Please. Opponent finds and plays another Kumbal. Okay. We're going to have to hit a Wrath. Like, we're not surviving. So we have three looks to hit a Wrath. Disallows not a Wrath. Neither is Condemn. Ugh. Ugh. Not like this. Not like this. Why did it have to be like this? Our opponent can't even win prizes. Why are they playing right now? No. Heartbroken. Oh, man. We were so close. We almost got there. We 2-3'd. That was a really fun game, but like we just didn't draw Wrath. We didn't get a Wrath off memory from Commit to Memory. We got to do some really sweet stuff. We did win with Battle of Wits at least once during the league. This was really fun. I'm going to be doing this again soon. I'm probably going to stream again tomorrow. I don't think it will be Battle of Wits, and it will be a sober stream. It'll be a deck that's faster to play because I don't have quite as much time, I think. But I will be streaming approximately 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Mountain Standard Time, I think. New viewers to the stream, if you want to register or if you want to follow, we're going to open 56 treasure chests as soon as we hit 100 followers. We're at 98 right now. Thank you everybody for supporting. I appreciate your time and effort hanging out with me. I mainly did this stream today to show like my updated setup. I'm behind a green screen now. I've got my own little border. I updated chat so it's actually readable. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else. Thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you again to Joest for following today, bringing us up to 98. And I hope I will see you all again soon. I think I'm gonna get off for the night. We had fun though. This was good. This was good. There's a couple more tweaks I need to make to this deck yet though. So, all right. Good night. Good night, George Monty.